Chapter 1, Section 1. Classification of matter. By the end of this section, you will be able to classify matter into types, based on its composition. Everything you hear, see, smell, taste, and touch involves chemistry. Hearing, seeing, tasting, and touching all involve intricate series of chemical reactions and interactions in your body. With such an enormous range of topics, it is essential to know about chemistry at some level to understand the world around us. In more formal terms, chemistry is the study of matter and its properties, the changes that matter undergoes, and the energy associated with those changes. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Which is to say, anything you can touch or hold. The two broad categories of matter are mixtures and pure substances. A pure substance is a type of matter that has a constant composition. All samples of a pure substance have exactly the same makeup and properties. Pure substances can be divided into two classes, elements and compounds. Elements are the simplest form of matter that has distinct physical and chemical properties and cannot be broken down chemically into simpler and stable substances. Elements can be thought of as building blocks for everything in the universe. If you had a sample of any element, such as iron, and you were able to repeatedly divide the sample in half again and again and again, discarding half of the sample each time, you would eventually reach a point where all you had left was a single particle of iron that could not be divided any further without breaking it into pieces. That would no longer be iron. That smallest iron particle is called an atom. An atom is the smallest amount of an element that still has the characteristics of that element. A compound is a chemical combination of elements that has its own set of properties and a definite composition. For example, pure water obtained from any natural source always contains the same two elements, oxygen and hydrogen, in the same proportion 88.8% oxygen and 11.2% hydrogen by mass. Compounds can be separated into their constituent elements only through chemical reactions. Elements and compounds are the two types of pure substances. Two or more pure substances can be physically combined to produce a mixture. The components of a mixture are not chemically bonded to each other and can be separated from one another by physical means, such as filtering by size, melting or boiling one or more of the components away, or separating based on density differences, sinking or floating. Mixtures do not have definite compositions and can be either heterogeneous or homogeneous. In heterogeneous mixtures, the substances that make up the mixture are not uniformly mixed, so two samples taken from the same mixture might have different compositions. Heterogeneous mixtures can be physically separated into their constituent components. Homogeneous mixtures, also called solutions, do have uniform compositions, so every sample taken from the same homogeneous mixture will have the same composition. It is more difficult to physically separate homogeneous mixtures into their constituent components. Although the word solution is most commonly associated with homogeneous liquid mixtures, in chemistry a solution is any homogeneous mixture, including one made up of two or more gases or two or more solids. An example of a solution made up of two or more gases is the atmosphere, which is a homogeneous mixture made up mostly of nitrogen, oxygen, and argon gases. Brass, a metal alloy made up of a homogeneous mixture of copper and zinc, is an example of a solid solution. The most familiar solutions both in chemistry and in everyday life are homogeneous mixtures in water, which include things like seawater, coffee, and tea, as well as any laboratory chemicals that are dissolved in water. A solution in water is known as an aqueous solution. To summarize, depending on its properties, matter can be classified as an element, a compound, a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture. All pure substances have definite compositions. Mixtures do not have definite compositions. Homogeneous mixtures have a uniform composition. Heterogeneous mixtures do not have a uniform composition. Work the following exercise to test your understanding of the material in this section. The answer for the exercise is on the next page. Work the following exercise to test your understanding of the material in this section. The answer for the exercise is on the next page. Work the following exercise to test your understanding of the material in this section. The answer for the exercise is on the next page.